Hey everyone, I'm Molly Wood from CNET.com, and we are looking ahead to the Consumer Electronics Show 2011, our annual gadget Super Bowl. I'm here with Lindsay Turrentine, Executive Editor at CNET, and Erica Ogg, Senior Writer for CNETnews.com. We're going to talk a little bit about some of the trends that we're expecting from the show this year. Now, honestly, ahead of it, it seems like there's really only the one. Tablets.
Tablets everywhere. Yep.
Yeah, so what are you guys hearing? I mean, are we going to see non-stop Android tablets? Is it going to be all Windows Phone 7? Erica, what have you heard so far?
I am expecting a lot of Android tablets. I mean, there's a lot of people that have been telegraphing it very obviously, manufacturers that are saying, you know, end of 2010, early 2011, so I think we can expect to see those. I think there are going to be a lot of 7-inch tablets. Maybe some that are a little bit smaller, but I'm thinking probably solidly in the 7-inch area.
And then what about those Windows 7 tablets, not Windows Phone 7? The Ballmer keynote is expected to showcase a lot of those. Frankly, we saw some last year. Where have they been?
They've been catching up for a while now, and we've seen big advances in the Android side. We're probably going to see Android with Honeycomb, the Honeycomb version, which is optimized for those tablets. So we're really curious to see what we get out of Windows, because so far we know nothing.
Yeah, they're more than a little bit behind the curve. It seems like everyone is. Do you think we'll see tablets like the Playbook that are primarily kind of aimed at the business space, trying to sidestep the iPad, or are we going to finally see some true iPad competition?
I think we're going to see all kinds of tablets. Anything you can think of, you'll probably see it.
And then, of course, the big shadow that's hanging over CES is the possibility of the Verizon iPhone. Let's, you know, like, what do you think are the odds here? Let's go out on a limb, place some bets. Lindsay, what are the odds of the Verizon iPhone being announced during CES?
During CES, I think slim to none. I think that there are good odds, I don't know, 40%, that it could be announced just before CES.
So
it's going to pull the rug out from underneath a lot of other Android announcements.
Well, that and Verizon has a very prominent slot in the keynote lineup at the show. So it would be interesting if Apple chose maybe 2 days before, 3 days before to talk about the new iPhone, and maybe Verizon would talk about, you know, 4G and, you know, how it would work on that potentially. We don't know, but it would definitely pull the rug out from under you know, poor CEO Verizon. Steal his thunder a little bit, but you know, who knows?
Well, and Apple's done that before. I mean, didn't they announce the iPad right during CES? They have certainly, or was it the MacBook Air?
The original iPhone.
That's right.
But that was back when we had Macworld, and we don't have Macworld anymore at, you know, at the same time slot. So.
Right. But we do have a little bit of an Apple pavilion, so it would certainly be set up for a bunch of accessories or who knows what else.
Well, and we know that Apple never lets carriers steal the thunder. So Apple announcing the iPhone right before the show would allow Verizon to discuss its plan.
How generous of them. Well, speaking of phones, it sounds like smartphones are actually going to, for really the kind of the first time, have a major presence at CES. Usually they're a little bit of a smaller category. What are we expecting there?
We're expecting some exciting advances, like dual-core Android phones, which were fast and exciting. Probably a lot of apps for the first time ever. CES has never been a software show. And we're hearing buzz about, you know, smaller apps, but still a lot of talk about apps at the show, and perhaps some presentations and exciting new stuff. So, you know, we're excited to see a discussion of content at CES.
Yeah, interesting. And then, of course, TVs are always huge, front and center at CES.
Right.
Are they going to be pushing 3D TV again this year, beating that drum?
I think they are. You know, last year was when they made like the big splash. I think we've seen from sales, people aren't super excited about having 3D at home. I mean, in the theater is a different story, but at home, sort of lukewarm about it. But I think we are going to see more of that. Now, what they do in terms of, you know, with glasses, without glasses, you know, what type of glasses, that's going to be interesting to see which direction manufacturers are going.
Yeah, and then I have to say a surprisingly big trend this year seems to be connected cars. I mean, there's always a car presence at CES, but this year you have Ford and Audi both keynoting. Well, I mean, cars are the next place for the internet?
It's huge. Well, every year there's a car tech pavilion, and it's just getting bigger and bigger every year, and we expect to see a lot of connected stuff in the dashboard from many manufacturers.
It's pretty crazy. Cars are going to be little internet-connected TVs or internet-connected devices on wheels. Yeah. That sounds super safe. Hopefully there will also be self-driving cars. because
that would be cool.
We need them. Right? Thank you so much, Lindsay and Erica. I'll see you at CES. You can also look for all of CNET's coverage at ces.cnet.com. There will be a lot of it. It's starting Wednesday, January 5th, 2011. You can watch all the major press conferences live on CNET that day, including LG, Samsung, Panasonic, and Sony, followed by wall-to-wall live coverage from the show floor during CES, culminating, of course, in CNET's Best of CES Awards on Saturday, January 8th at 11 a.m. Pacific Time. I am tired just thinking about it, but I'll see you then.